Morning, all. This is Maple. She's been crying off camera, haven't you? Because you want to go outside. And nobody's taking you outside. And by nobody, I mean I'm the only one home. So that's why she's in here bugging me right now and being all nice and sweet and everything. So if the board's shaking, it's because she's rubbing up against me and up against the easel and all that fun stuff. So, anyways, how's everybody doing? Hi. All right. News of the day video to start things off for your Friday, May the 9th. We have 2 games tonight in the NHL. We have a bunch of games in the American Hockey League, and we have one PWHL game as well. I'm even wearing my Toronto Scepters jersey. I don't think I've worn that one in the video. But anyways, let's start at the top of the board, shall we? So new coach Mike Sullivan in New York, anxious to get things going here, and he says he's spoken to every player on the roster, saying all the right things here, and I think Mike Sullivan's going to be successful in New York. It feels like that's a matchup that's going to work. The New York Rangers looking to get back to the playoffs next season. Mike Sullivan may very well be the coach that can get them there. So it sounds like this has gotten off to a good start. We'll see how things go, of course, once we reach October. That'll tell us how well things are actually going to go. So the reason for the PWHL jersey in this video, beyond the games that are being played and have been played, in last night's game, Britta Curl, guilty of an illegal check to the head, and she was kicked out of that game. She got 5 in a game there, and now the league has suspended Britta for Game 2 against Toronto, which goes tonight. So I did see some fans weren't happy because apparently she was suspended during the regular season for a check to the head, so they feel that 1 game isn't enough. But that is the decision of the PWHL's player safety department. And we'll see how that affects Game 2 tonight and whether or not they can get a 2-0 series lead, and that's Toronto, or if Minnesota can fight back and tie the series, and they have to do so, of course, without Britta Curl. The Carolina Hurricanes, they have been out shooting, or at least, and they've been out shooting Washington, and the shot attempts have been ridiculous. In the first game, the shot attempts were 94-34 in favor of Carolina. Last night's game, they evened up a little bit. They dropped to 86-50. So that's 86 shot attempts by Carolina to 50 by the Washington Capitals. And the Canes are saying that they know they have to adjust, and they're looking to play better in the next game. One thing to keep in mind is the games 3 and 4 will be in Carolina, so they get the last change and they get the matchups that they are looking for. So we'll see if that does change things going to Carolina for games 3 and 4. But it was a split through the first 2 games. I will not be surprised if we get a split in games 3 and 4 as well. The Edmonton Oilers making themselves a little bit of history. That is 6 straight comeback wins for them. Now, in both regular season and playoffs, they're getting close to an all-time record. The all-time record is 7 straight comeback victories. The Winnipeg Jets did it in 2016-2017, and the LA Kings did it in 1984-1985. So, in the event that the Oilers have another comeback victory in their next game, that would tie the all-time record, which includes regular season as well as playoffs. So, one thing, of course, with that is you can't rely on comebacks all the time, but if you're the Oilers, apparently that's what works right now. I did think it was interesting looking at some of the comments from last night, and a lot of, oh, that wasn't a trip, and McNabb was fine. And yet everybody on the Sportsnet panel said that's a trip. Most of the accounts that I follow on social media were all like, yeah, that's a trip. That was a missed call. And still today we're talking about how that's a missed call. Now, there's no supplemental discipline coming out of that because it was a trip. It wasn't anything egregious. However, Nicholas Roy has a hearing today, tonight actually, for a cross-check to the face on Trent Frederick. So the National Hockey League will be suspending Nicholas Roy. My guess is 1 game. That's just my guess. I thought it was more reckless than anything else. It's one of those plays that you just look at and you go, that's just, why would you do that? That's so stupid. So I don't think there's premeditation in there. I don't know if that's going to play a role in what kind of suspension we see here. If injury, if that's going to be something they look at and say, well, Frederick did finish the game. Pretty sure he finished the game, right? So at any rate, Nick Roy will get his sentencing tonight. Let me know in the comment section below, how many games do you think he gets? 1, 2, more? I have a feeling it'll probably be 1 game. Maybe it's 2. It's just so reckless, so stupid. But That's how I saw it, more than vicious and awful and premeditated. I just thought it was stupid and reckless. Not that those hurt any less. They don't. 2 games tonight in the National Hockey League, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs in Florida against the Panthers. So Florida needs to win both games at home. Like, ideally, they're looking to win both games at home because they're down 2-0 in the series. So I would look for a pretty intense start to this one tonight. I don't think there's going to be fights or whatnot, but I would think a lot of hits being thrown both ways and a battle to see who gets that first goal. It feels like that first goal could be very, very important in this key third game in the series. Tonight at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, meaning it'll start at 9:50 Eastern, 6:50 Pacific. It is Dallas in Winnipeg against the Jets. Dallas leading that series 1-0, so Winnipeg really does need to win this game, and Josh Morrissey is seen as a game-time decision. So I haven't seen confirmation he's going to play. I get the feeling he probably does, but either way, we'll see tonight how that turns out. The Winnipeg Jets looking to even the series after having lost home ice advantage in that first game against Dallas. And Dallas, of course, looking to get Rantanen some more goals. So 5 games tonight in the American Hockey League. Providence in Charlotte against the Charlotte Checkers. Charlotte leads that series 2-1. Hershey is in Lehigh Valley against the Phantoms, and the Phantoms lead that series 2-1. So if Hershey's going to stay in the playoffs, have to win tonight. Grand Rapids in Texas. Texas is up 2-0 in that series, so the Stars farm team looking to move on to the next round. Milwaukee's in Rockford tonight. Rockford up 2-1 in that series. Remember, these are best of 5. And Coachella Valley in Abbotsford against the Canucks. Abbotsford up 2-1 in that series, looking to round things out. One thing that I did point out to Yvonne last night is that the next game between Winnipeg and Dallas is a matinee game. It's earlier in the day, so won't conflict with a potential Game 5 between Abbotsford and Coachella Valley. So Abbotsford has a chance to knock out Coachella Valley tonight. We'll see how that ends up going. It would be interesting to see both Hershey and Coachella Valley getting knocked out after meeting in the final of the Calder Cup 2 years in a row. PWHL action last night. Toronto beat Minnesota 3-2 in the game where Britta Krul gets thrown out for that hit to the head. Toronto leads that series 1-0, and Game 2 goes tonight in Toronto. How's the attendance though when it's conflicting against the Maple Leafs game? Like I know Toronto's playing in Florida. I get that part, but I mean a lot of Toronto fans are going to be home watching Maple Leafs game. I'm kind of surprised that they'd have the games right up against one another like that. And Ottawa last night beat Montreal 3-2. So the Ottawa Charge up 1-0 in that series, and Game 2 goes on Sunday. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Fun time in the hockey world right now, and of course the World Championships are getting started as well. I do think there will probably be more attention paid to the World Championships this year than usual because it feels like there's more NHLers who want to go over and play for Canada and the US than usual because it's being seen as one of those tune-ups for the Olympics next year. So might be a little more importance put on the World Championships. I think that's why Crosby and McKinnon, amongst others, have decided to go over and represent Canada. And then there's a bunch that have gone over for any European countries as well, of course. But it feels like the European countries don't have as much trouble getting their top players to come out and play for them as it does with Canada and the U.S. Once their NHL playoffs are done, they're usually, going out on vacation and all that fun stuff, and they're just not as much interested in the World Championships. I think that's changed this year. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It is greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.